What's he doing now? They should be. This area's not very active though. It's getting cold. I thought they'd be in hibernation already.
Look at his face. Oh my god.
No, I'm not walking past it.
What do you mean, cunt?
I'm not walking
I just walked past it and then I realised because I stopped to look at you and then I saw it right next to me.
So, false water cobra, I think produced by myself. Rehomed this from a really lovely lad. And it says just too feisty. It's too feisty, too bitey, worries every time I open the enclosure. Now this snake's got plenty of body weight on it. But I can tell you now, typical false water cobra like that, it just hasn't been fed enough for a false water cobra. That's nothing, no slight of the lad, no slight at all. It's just one of those things. False water cobras that are really aggressive are usually actually food driven. This snake would probably be 3 times the size for its age if it was a holdback of mine. They are so food driven, they can seem aggressive. So I just picked this snake up from the enclosure, went to fetch it from the lad. Beautiful animal, and he loves the snake. And not aggressively, it just started trying to swallow my fingers and my hand. Totally food responsive, sniffing my fingers and then latching on and chewing. So beautiful animal. Look at that, lovely. They are just lovely. Look at that, what a beautiful animal. But we'll feed her up and see how she changes as she ages, with a lot more handling and some more food. But look at that. False water cobra, showing us why or how they got their name. Look at that. Beautiful. Now it's away from its enclosure. It's had a strange journey home. It's not thinking about food right now. A completely changed personality. Food not on its mind because it says as it's sniffing me, because of course that scenario's been taken away. It's in a strange box, slithered around on the way home. As one great reptile keeper says, we're working with a different part of its mind. That responsive mind, food, it's moving, grab it, is now thinking, exploratory, a different beast entirely. I quite like the colour of this animal too. Look at that. We'll see how she goes and I'll report back. Dog snuffling around. Beautiful. Definitely, in my opinion, one of the best pet snakes you could ever get. You just need to understand these guys and their food response for sure. You won't get a more seemingly intelligent snake than a false water cobra. And I put these above, ahead of even dry mark on. The bull snake's really active now. Actually got some temperatures, 25 degrees in the shade. Very different when you've got a glass or a perspex front. And up there, the first of the blue beauty snakes is outside again for the year. These are kept in until pretty much most of the night. They've been down to 6 degrees C before, but they're kept in until it looks like the nighttime temperatures are warming up a little bit, which they are now for the next couple of weeks at least. So he's in blue. The other half is due to lay eggs, so she'll stay in the reptile room until then. But there you go, big old enclosure, which for most people they wouldn't be able to build this in their houses. And if they did, they probably wouldn't put these kinds of snakes in there. You know, you'd probably build something like that for an Asia water monitor while it's sort of half grown. Outdoor keeping really gives you the space for most people, or more space than anything they're going to do in their houses. So, you know, relatively small enclosure outside would probably be for most people quite a big enclosure inside. That bull snake climbing right up there. 7-foot bull snake. What an animal he is. And believe it or not, a 10-foot Vietnamese blue beauty. Of course, sighting outdoor enclosures is important, depending on what they're made of. Glass all round is going to heat up. You do need an absolutely full mesh lid, or the heat buildup will be immense. But even now, on a cold but sunny day, all the slow worms and their babies are sunbathing at the front. Now they've just been in the sun, and obviously the heat through the glass, they've gone somewhere cooler. Russian rat snakes are trialling out here. Both out, so they've got a deep shady hideaway down in the soil, but they're both out in the hot sun, loving life. And of course, with a mesh top, whether they need it or not, they get access to UV, the real UV of the sun. If these are happy with the temperatures, and I'm talking the hot temperatures, not the cold temperatures, and they're bigger and they stay out more, then they'll look good in a big, tall enclosure, like the Blue Beauty is back there. So I'm just trialing them for now. Now over there, I don't know if you can hear this. The pool frogs are calling loudly. They will be quiet the minute I get near. Oh, just a second, guys, look at this. Solitary mason bees filling those tubes on our huge bug hotel. Looks like a beehive. It's not. These are all solitary bees having individual nest sites in those tubes. Bug hotels, they definitely work. On a side note, meadow, leaving this as meadow, wildflower strip, natural compost heap. I'm going to naturalise some of our captive bred slow worms in there and see if they do naturalise in the meadow. Look at that, they heard me straight away. Seen me. Where are they? They're normally out sunbathing, to be honest. Maybe you can see them. Wow. No natrix out at all. Wow, I don't think I spooked them. So maybe they've got perfectly heated up today and now they're in the pond or the shade. Shocking. I thought I was going to see a whole pile of grass snakes. Ten minutes later, in a brand new home, one whiff of a mouse. Hungry little snake. Bless him. Hee. Now these are not really pet snakes, but wow. At night in your reptile room, just beautiful to see them out and about. Think of it as a after dark treat in your snake collection for sure. What an iconic animal the mangrove snake is. If you're going to pet them and hold them, personally, daytime's the best. At night, they're hyper vigilant, they're hyperactive, they're awake, and they're in full-on greedy hunting mode. They seem to certainly be a little bit more tractable for handling. during the day when you kind of just wake them up and they're not thinking about food. Kewadi locality. Dwarf reticulated pythons, they're out and about at night as well. Hungry cycle, they get fed, they don't do much for a few days and then they're both out and about. Oh, beautiful. You can't beat the wild type colouring of any reticulated python. But these island races are special little beauties for sure. Hello. Okay, so it's rabbit time for the retic. We don't want it to accidentally bite my hand, so. One down, a few more to go. Whoa, Yellowtail Crebos, they are lightning fast. False water cobras are a bit faster. Is he blind? Welcome back to the channel. I just thought I'd show you a bit of news and updates from the reptile room and so on. Out here, we've got, he's over 7 feet long now, this bull snake. I've moved him around. I'm waiting for a certain kind of lizard species to go in here. They're going to be at least another couple of months away, if I'm successful. So, I've got the big old bull snake in here. And again, an 8 foot by 8 foot enclosure in your house would seem massive. But when you see a 7 foot bull snake using it, it really doesn't seem that big at all. It makes you rethink how you keep your reptiles indoors, for sure. Some of mine are in racks, some are in vivs, some are in bespoke made enclosures. But outdoor keeping our reptiles is at a whole nother level. You don't need any electricity, and you generally have a lot more space to make those enclosures look great as well. And that means the Russian rat snakes that were in here, they did really well in here, they look great, but they were a lot more active than they usually are. They were coming out and sunbathing on the top there, and you could really see, yeah, they're fine in there, but it looked a bit small for them. So I've swapped them around. Instead of the bull snake in here, you've got the rat snakes, the Russian rat snakes, in with a pair of Vietnamese blue beauties. Purists, I know what you're going to say, but very interesting. Too much reflection, look at that. Very interesting. So the phone's had it, it's not focusing properly, the phone camera. So we've got the latest iPhone now. We're not using it now, but we've got it now ready to take over on the YouTube channels. Just exploring away. They've spent all day, they're both fed today. They've only been in here today, exploring around, looking great. A pair of Russian rat snakes. Got a big male Vietnamese blue beauty. There's the phone doing its thing. He's just getting ready to slough. The female Russian rat snake is there. In that short time, the male has climbed all the way up there. Imagine when that grows up the back there. All at the back there. What an awesome enclosure for keeping your arboreal snakes in, for sure. Semi-arboreal, I guess you could call them.
Now, I have kept and handled forest scorpions, emperor scorpions, for many, many, many years. My last one for school visits, Gertrude. She was bred in the reptile room, of course, good many years ago now, and grown on from a little tiny baby. And of course, she was used to being handled. I didn't sort of look what I was doing. I used to just scoop her up, put her back in a house or into a travel box. And she passed away of old age recently. This one probably is wild caught, I'm pretty sure. I messaged the shop, emailed the shop and said, you got any big scorpions, big Asian forest scorpions? Bless him. Very fearful. Thinks being handled is going to end in him being eaten. Probably been handled quite roughly on collection if he is wild caught, which I'm sure he would be. Not paying attention. I scooped him up the other day like Gertrude. To put it, wasn't even looking, scooped him out of his travel box to put him into his own enclosure. And my brain registered a little bit like being burnt. A few seconds later, what the heck is that pain? He'd got his sting right in my finger. The worst sting I've ever had. I've been pinched by wild ones in Thailand. I've been stung by wild ones, just little pricks. The only time I've had a reaction other than ow is one of my homebred babies stung me on the thumb once, and my thumb went stiff and swelled up for the day. A little tiny baby one. Whoa, this guy here, look at that. That's the worst thing I've ever had. It really hurt for 2 minutes. And then the little blighter, don't fall, it's took 3 days for me, the swelling in my finger to go down and for the finger to become mobile again. It really went stiff. But look at that. Forest scorpion, of course, and the UV light, it gets the wow factor from the kids. Getting them to love these more unusual animals. Catch me in the next one, guys. He's gone at my elbow.